Hey, okay, here we go. It's 5/15, May 15th, 2019. We're doing Journal 49. Hard to believe. It's T+43, 43 days after the transplant, which means that we're cranking right along. Which and it's interesting. To me, it's fascinating. Fair amount of anxiety today because I could feel my energy level dropping, and I guess I've got anxiety. Um, Stress both ways, whether I get the transfusion and more platelets or not. We're going to find out tomorrow in the morning. But tomorrow's going to be an interesting day because for the first time since we've been out here and since Leslie hurt her back, the two of us are going to be going in different directions, and we're not going to be together when I go to see the doctor for clinic. And I've come to realize just how important having a second set of ears and a second set of eyes present for those meetings, because you're just going to flat miss things that that your partner, patient advocate, whatever, is going to catch. And I don't like the idea of her having to go to the spinal surgeon, the orthopedist who's evaluating her MRI and deciding, what the treatment's going to be, and not being there to hear it. Just as I'm sure that she's equally anxious about the fact that I'm going to be meeting with our doctor's nurse practitioner for the results of the blood work that I'm going to get tomorrow morning. And literally both appointments occur at the same time, complicated by the fact, of course, that it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and rain heavily out here, at least. And, it just complicates that whole uh, plan of getting information and figuring out where you are and what you're going to do next, and all of those things. Even though I've spoken at great length about how um, all of this is a choice, and in order to remain positive about all of it, you've got to really make the conscious effort to make those decisions. That doesn't mean that they're not anxiety laden. It doesn't mean that there is no anxiety. You just choose to deal with it. Um, I was going to say differently, but I'm not sure, how differently it is than other folks. Um, I know it's differently than some folks because I've seen that difference. But nevertheless, I mean, Leslie's got to go to her appointment. I got to go to my appointment. Uh, we're going to go ahead and find out what that's all about. Uh, but despite the anxiety, today was, and despite the GI tract problems that I'm still having, um, which seem to ebb and flow. I mean, quite literally. It's so sick. I love it. Um, uh, Today turned out to be a good day. They've given me permission to eat in the cafeteria here at the hospital because their food preparation um, requirements are really significant. And they tend to really work hard to make sure that the food that is prepared in the cafeteria meets the requirements, meets the needs of a lot of the patients that are here, many of whom are transplant patients, as you would imagine. We know each other by the masks. We walk around with the masks, and everybody seems to know each other based upon the fact that they're all you can see is their eyes. But I've gotten permission to do that, and since we've gotten permission to do that, every once in a while somebody will come out to donate platelets or blood, and if the timing is correct, if their appointment is at the right time, I can sort of take advantage of my flexibility in my schedule um, to meet them. So Leslie and I can meet them, especially if they're friends, old friends, good friends. and meet them in the cafeteria and have that moment of normalcy where you're actually sitting at a table and able to talk to each other as if things are normal. Well, realistically, they are normal because that's the situation you find yourself in. But they are uh, they are normal for this situation. They are not necessarily normal for what is general life. Today we got to have lunch um, with maybe my oldest married friend. Well, perhaps I should say my our longest married friends, who I came to know uh, through Leslie. And Eddie is married to Leslie's friend Sharon, and they've, Leslie and Sharon have known each other since the third grade. If you want to see something weird, find a third grade picture of your present spouse and one of her closest friends. And today was just this island of normalcy in a tempestuous sea of mad science, and it was delicious in so many respects. We got to talk about all kinds of things, primarily philosophy of all things, and the nature of this kind of a situation and how you find yourself in it, how you handle yourself, what you do, how important it is, especially if you hang it out there in public um, for everyone to see, hoping that somebody will derive some strength uh, or knowledge or understanding from what it is you're going through, and hoping that you're able to help other people, you know, get through this experience, because it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. The isolation is a real factor, um, which it's been mitigated a couple of times by having getting an opportunity to see people that you know and care about. But it's not an easy situation, primarily because of the isolation, as I just said, but also because there are all kinds of physical things going on in your body that you have little or no control over. So it kind of doesn't pay to go ahead and bemoan the fact that they're going on, but the fact that they're going on doesn't change the fact that they're not easy either. Um, and the example of that was that we try to take a walk after um, after we finished lunch, and one of the reasons I'm pretty sure I'm going to wind up either with a transfusion or platelets or another Neupogen shot or something is the fact that I was so tired, so fatigued, that I found it really difficult to walk without losing my breath, which is an indication that my hemoglobin is really low again, and that somebody's going to have to do something about that. And it's a simple fix. It sounds like a simple fix, but the doctors are really reluctant to have you go through that. And my thought is there has to be a reason for that, and I just don't know what it is yet. Um, but based upon what I experienced this afternoon, I'm pretty sure that that's what I'm going to go ahead and be in for tomorrow in the morning, which means it's going to be a long day. I've got a 9:45 appointment for labs, which is it's unusually late for what my appointments have been. That means I'll be seeing the doctor or the nurse at 10:30. If I wind up in the Amini Center, I've got to figure it's another couple of hours. So it's a long day and it's fairly exhausting. But that doesn't change the fact that it was abnormally normal, in the respect that we got to hang out with some friends. We got to talk to them over lunch. We got to talk about normal stuff that we normally talk about instead of me and my disease, which was nice as well. Um, as I said before, it's the little things. And the little things tend to be not so little. And, on that, I'm going to leave you for the evening and get some rest, get some sleep. In the meantime, stay well, take care, enjoy each other, and enjoy the world. Thank you and good night.